government is big. I asked the appointing authority, find favor, because this lady did not understand, during the vetting did not communicate properly, and suitability was not correct. But the appointing authority find favor to place this lady in any place in government, Mr. Speaker, so that the people where they come from, where they have seen hope, will have hope and continue. And finally ask the appointing authority, find favor and appoint someone from Baringo, a lady, so that this country can move forward. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Aden, Keynan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Kenya is a representative democracy where the current constitution vests or confers powers to each of the three arms of government. Mr. Speaker, the reason why under the current constitution, pursuant to Article 152, the President nominates, Parliament vets and approves through the participation of the public. Mr. Speaker, what the committee has done is to put into context the constitutional role of each of the three arms of government. Mr. Speaker, having said this, we need to reflect on what has happened to the cabinet that has been dissolved. Mr. Speaker, some of the things that I have noted, and I know you have been around and I've been around, some of the things that I've noted is when you are appointed to a public office, civility is not a sign of cowardice. One of the things that was missing in the just dissolved government was that civility, humility, and humbleness. What I want to ask, to the extent that I saw one of the lady ministers, former, always task her bodyguard to carry her bag. I want to ask and plead with my good sisters, in the African culture, that is an abomination. It's an abomination and should not be allowed. It's actually an abuse of office. Mr. Speaker, having said that, if you see the members here, Mr. Speaker, Article 1 of the Constitution, vests powers.
Lillian Kogo, what's the problem?
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. I want to bring it to the attention of my senior that when somebody holds a bag for a woman, it has nothing to do with culture. And we are not going to attack the person of women at their place of work. Men, Honorable Speaker, men don't carry bags, women carry bags. And it could have just been in a state of emergency. So as we discuss the approval of this particular Honorable Kenyans, let us leave women alone.
Honorable Lillian Kogo, that is hypersensitivity, honestly. Because Honorable Keynan did not say men are given bags by women to hold. He said women giving men bags to carry for them because they are their security, and he thinks that is not right. That's his opinion. Go on. And I don't see that as an assault on women.
Thank you. I really respect my good sir. Mr. Speaker, the reason why I say this is because we are Africans. And each one of us, the ladies must be respected, the men must also be respected. The role of a bodyguard is clearly defined in their job description. It's not to carry the bag of anybody, but to take care of the security of that particular individual. Mr. Speaker, they say this, the reason why we have this, and I want to urge those nominees who are likely to approve in the next few, please humble yourselves. This house should not be a conveyor belt for CSs. When we vet them and approve them, we should hold them to the highest standards of accountability. That is the only way the role of this house will be respected. It's not just a matter of approval, Mr. Speaker. The group who are there, some of them, Mr. Speaker, it was difficult to fix an appointment. It was difficult to get them on telephone. It was difficult to see them. They're like in another world. Once the group who will be approved today, please desist. Otherwise, we will invoke the provisions of the law to bring you down just the way we approve you today. Mr. Speaker, having said that, the reason why we have this is because we failed in our constitutional pursuit. Mr. Speaker, I want to ask these members, as we reflect on the dynamics, the change in dynamics, can we think of the Bomas draft? And do you know the provisions? Why did we lose that sanity? What happened? Why did we throw away the role of the member of parliament? I want you to think as we do this, because Kenya is a very dynamic country. Can we think of bringing back the Bomas draft so that the role of the member of parliament, as clearly enshrined in Article 1, is manifested in the management of our nation day-to-day activities? Otherwise, as we are floating. The Speaker, finally, as I conclude this, we have a country. Once you have been appointed, and I want to proudly say, when the young Hassan Joho was elected in 2007, he was my vice chair in the Committee of Defense and Foreign Relations. And I can tell you, regardless of anything that has been said, Hassan Joho remained a resilient, a highly focused, and a well-placed individual in anything that he touched. Even during when he was my vice chair, that is one thing that he clearly demonstrated. But once you are appointed, you are no longer a cost to Kingsby in Madam Zamzam. He remains the property of the 50 million Kenyans. And I think now he should move from the coastal politics and contribute to the national well-being of Kenya. Mr. Speaker, for those who have said that the group who have been appointed are products of particular school of thought, I agree. Each one of us remains persuaded by particular group in particular political thought. Mr. Speaker, that notwithstanding, once you have been nominated, once you have been approved, you remain the property of the Republic of Kenya, and wherever you are, whichever ministry, serve the interests of the people of Kenya. And I support the list. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Nyakundi.